Hello, Thursday, May the 9th. There it is. There it is. There you have it. There you have it. I stuck my head out there, right? I said the Pacers would come in tonight with a chip on their shoulder, being that they got robbed from the refs the previous game. I thought that would be all the juice they needed to get the job done last night, right? So initially, I'm gonna say initially, yes, I had the Knicks and I switched it up. I switched it up. I went with the Pacers. Yes, I did go with the Pacers to win last night, but I also did go with the Pacers to win the series. I changed it up, right? Even though I had the Knicks at first. I like the Pacers. I like the Pacers team. I like them from even before the season started. So I have no problem going with the Pacers. The season is not done. They're going back to Indiana, right? The thing is, the problem is, I don't think it's a lack of effort. I don't think it's a lack of effort. Sometimes you just don't have what you need to get the job done, and that's what it's kind of starting to look like for the Pacers. I mean, look at it this way: what more do you want? What more do you want? Brunson went out. What I think he missed some of the first quarter. I think he went out with 3 minutes left in the first quarter and missed the whole second quarter. Right? Indiana took the advantage. They were able to get up 10 points, right? And from there, I from when Brunson came back from after the half, I seen it. I just seen it starting to go downhill. And the coverage on Brunson, terrible. You got Nemhard. I got respect for Nemhard, but it's pretty obvious that he cannot guard Brunson. It is obvious, and it's almost like you're okay with the L when you say okay, you're gonna put. You see a guy getting cooked, right? And it's not even like he's making life hard for Brunson, right? It's been said that TJ McCullough, is it TJ McCullough? Yeah, I think TJ McCullum, he's been doing a better job on Brunson, but for whatever reason, they didn't keep him on Brunson. I mean, if he's the one that could make life most difficult for Brunson, then you got to put him on there because Brunson is the number one reason why you cannot win a game, right? So that was tough. I found it hard to watch. I couldn't even watch. Once I seen, I think the Pacers were still up by the time I stopped. I watched again this morning, but last night I had to turn the channel and the Pacers were still up by I think about 5 or something like that, and I just seen it coming. I'm like, oh my gosh, and I didn't know until watching the game this morning that Anunoby went out with a hamstring and they still could these are the things that worry me about the whole series. This is why I'm worried. Is that you have Brunson out? Okay, first of all, you got Mitchell out, right? You got Brunson. Let's go even further back. Randall's out. Okay, they're who's supposed to be their number one player? I guess you could say him and Brunson, right? Julius Randle out. Mitchell out. Uh, Jalen Brunson out with ankle for the pretty much a good majority of the first half. Anunoby out with a hamstring, right in the last half, at some point in the last half, and all those things combined cannot what didn't allow the Pacers to get a win. Can't really call the referees on this one. Can't blame the referees on this one. So yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. It's really tough. But uh, let's give the Knicks. You got to give the Knicks their credit. I mean, especially the efficiency down the stretch, hitting those shots, those open shots, making the right passes, and again Brunson cooking. Right, Thanksgiving. It was pretty much Thanksgiving dinner for Brunson. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Pacers, on the other hand, not able to make any stops. You know what I mean? And then on the other side, they're not able to capitalize. Siakam still missing free throws. I mean, it's tough. I'm not surprised to see Siakam missing those free throws. That's an issue that he had here in Toronto. When it came down to the stretch. uh, and it just reared its ugly head again. Um, Halliburton, decent game. Like I said, I'm good going with the Pacers. I'm gonna stick with the Pacers. It's okay to I don't feel bad going with a team that I like, right? I don't feel bad doing that, even though things are looking a little bit shaky right now. I switched it over. I knew that the Knicks would be a problem. I knew the Knicks would be a problem, right? I knew they'd be a problem, but again, I didn't expect this. Okay. So shout out to the Knicks. I mean, they played well. Let me see. The thing is, though, moving on from now, though, honestly, the Pacers really gotta hope. They gotta hope that Brunson's ankle swells up and he can't play in the next game because as much as I said like I'm gonna stick with the Pacers, but that guy's a killer, man. That guy's killing the Pacers right now. Brunson is killing the Pacers, and he would have had 40 points last night if he wasn't out the majority of the first half. Sorry about that background noise there. Let me see if I could roll these windows up. Yeah, so Brunson would have had 40 another, so he would have got 45 four consecutive 40-point games if it wasn't for the injury, him having to sit out for the majority of the first half. So I don't know. In terms of what they can do, like I said, they gotta hope. They gotta hope that the swelling, the right now the Indiana Pacers are praying for the swelling to go up for Anunoby and Brunson, because otherwise things are just looking real crazy out there. Josh Hart, all these pieces, all this. That's another thing though is team basketball. That's what I'm seeing from like teams like the Knicks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Thunder. The reason why these teams are having so much success is because they have a team. It's not just, like when you look at the Mavericks, it's Irving and Doncic. Like those days are dead. Those days of just stacking up superstar players on a team, it's dead. Now you're playing against teams who form well as a team and play very well as a team, and they're tough to beat as a team. Same thing you've seen in the Worlds, the summer, where you see those European teams how they play team basketball, and that's tough to beat. That's why you see when America is playing up against those teams, they have trouble because it's not, oh, you know what, give it to one guy and let him cook, right? It's not how it works. One guy is going up against a whole team. You see what I'm saying? But back to the Knicks and the Pacers, man. The Pacers really got to figure something out, man, because especially with I don't know what Carlisle's gonna do with the coverage on Brunson, but Nemhard, it's not gonna work. It's definitely not gonna work, right? So it's either you got to switch something or just pray for the swelling to go up, man, because I don't see anything else happening in the Pacers' favor right now. And then who knows? Maybe me and my boy, we talk about the home crowd, right? Maybe the home crowd will be a big factor for the Indiana Pacers. I know they got the city's wild for basketball, so I know that crowd's going to be going crazy. And it's just going to be a sea of yellow, right? Yellow and blue. Hopefully that will help boost their spirits up a little bit. But man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. And when I took the Pacers, I knew it was a risk. I knew I was taking a risk. But I expect more. I mean, the Pacers are out. Who? Benedict Mathurin, right? And I think that's about it. I think they got pretty much the rest of their squad. The and I don't see these guys getting tired. The Knicks are running off of pure adrenaline right now. Pure adrenaline. I think that's what allowed Brunson. Because when Brunson came back, at first he looked a little, he was a little shaken up with the ankle thing, and then I don't know if he took some painkillers or whatever, but after a while, he was back to the same old Brunson. And the worst thing you could do, like, I mean, back in the '90s, right? Back in the '90s, if you knew a guy was cooking you, right? and he went out with an injury or something, and he came back, those guys would make sure he didn't get nothing. It wasn't like, oh, you're injured. Oh, let me back off of you. Nah, man, you're done. You went out with an ankle. We're gonna try and get you back out of the game because we're gonna pressure you so much to where that pain is just gonna come back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that it's like uh it's like when a lion is picking out its prey, right? He looks for the weakest prey, right? That's what it used to be like. A guy with a bum ankle, he ain't getting nothing. He ain't getting nothing. That's like blood. That's like a blood in the water. That's like when sharks see blood in the water, you know. But I didn't see that, man. It looked like Brunson was just having his way, and they allowed that. I mean, he went out with it. He got a bum ankle, put T.J. McCollum on him, make life difficult. I always talk about it, especially with Nikola Jokic. I was so happy in that game with Minnesota, with Nas Reed and Karl Anthony Towns. That's the example of making life difficult. They made life difficult for Nikola Jokic. That is the example of what I'm talking about. Don't let him feel comfortable out there. Brunson looked pretty comfortable out there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna change anything though. I'll stick with the Pacers. I'll definitely stick with the Pacers. We'll see how what they're gonna do moving forward. I believe their next game should be on Friday. But Siakam, man, Siakam's got to hit his free throws. That's another thing. I mean, man, a lot. I think from what I've seen him miss, especially key free throws. I've seen him miss like 5 or 6 key free throws down the stretch in this series alone, which is that's not good. And back to back free throws, not just missing one, missing just both of your free throws. That's insane, man. That's insane. So that's tough. That's tough. But I'm riding for the Pacers. I'm riding for the Pacers. Uh, I mean, when I look at it, like I said, my favorite teams going into the season, I didn't really have a favorite team in the West until later on, until I seen OKC. So I'm not gonna act like I was on the OKC bandwagon the whole time. I think once I seen OKC clinch the number one in the West, that really had me going with OKC. I mean, like for a young team like that. Also, the way I've always liked OKC, but they're way ahead of schedule. Way ahead of schedule. I thought maybe okay, they could possibly make the playoffs this year, and then maybe next year. I'd never seen even at their best. I never seen them clinching number one in the West. Maybe 2, 3, right? So like they arrived, and even when where they arrived to is higher than what I thought. So yeah, that's big for Oklahoma. But yeah, man, it looks like the Knicks might, if the Knicks move on, if the Knicks are able to take the Pacers out, move on to Boston, I don't think they're gonna be giving Boston much problems. Plus all the wear and tear from these first two playoff series. Uh, I'm pretty sure Boston has help. Remember, the Knicks are depleted. They got like they have I think they're running a 7-man rotation right now, which is just insane, right? Josh Hart's playing. I think Josh Hart played like 48 minutes. He played the whole game last night. Josh Hart is a handyman for sure. He's like whatever you need, you're gonna get it from Josh Hart, man. Right? He's durable. He's gonna give you those minutes, and he doesn't look like he runs off of pure adrenaline too. So I know the Knicks fans are happy right now. I know the Knicks fans are loving it. I mean, it's been a long time coming, but I know the Knicks fans need a championship, and they're still how far are they away from a championship? I don't even know. More than 5 years, in my opinion, because I don't think this Brunson and Randall thing is gonna work out. I just don't think it's gonna cut it. So I see the way Brunson's looking right now. They probably end up staying with Brunson, keeping Brunson, and trying to get someone for to probably end up letting go Randall and trying to get someone to pair up with Brunson. That's what I see happening for the Knicks. So it's gonna take a little bit of time for them to get back on track. By the time Brunson gets his championship, he'll probably be in the later stages of his career. That's just the way I'm looking at it from my point of view right now. They probably make the playoffs every year, which is good because look how many years they weren't able to make the playoffs, which is just crazy. So yeah, they'll probably make the playoffs for a while and have series like this where they sniff the finals, right? They may get to sniff the finals this year, but I don't see them getting to the finals for a good while. So yeah. But I'm gonna call it again. I'm gonna go with the Pacers for Game 3. They need it. They need it. I don't know how they're gonna pull it off, but I have to go with. In order for the Pacers to have a chance to win this series, they have to win Game 3. So I have to go with the Pacers for Game 3. I'm locked in. I'm locked in at this point, right? So yeah, I'm not gonna change it back. I already went from the Knicks back. I chose the Knicks. Went from the Knicks back to the Pacers. I'm just gonna stick with the Pacers, and I'm good with that because I do like the Pacers as a team and an organization. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that. I don't see any questions or anything like that. We'll probably come back again later, like around 3:30, to do another live. We might catch up on. I don't really want to talk too much about the games today because what's today? Boston and Cleveland. I expect Boston to get another one tonight. I expect Oklahoma to take the second game tonight. There's not much more to talk about. I'll probably talk about the outcome tomorrow, but that's it. I just want to see Oklahoma take a game tonight, Boston take another game tonight, and we're cool, right? So I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a great day, have a great afternoon, and we will catch y'all in the next one.